It was a cold December morning in Boston, the kind where breath turns to mist and every step feels heavier than the last. Mark Reynolds, a mid-level banker in his 40s, was running late for work. The world moved fast around him, and kindness, he thought, was a luxury for people with more time. As he hurried past the church on Maple Street, he noticed an old man sitting on the steps, shivering under a tattered blanket. A small wooden cross hung loosely around his neck. Beside him was a cardboard sign that read, "God bless you, not for coins, but for compassion." Mark hesitated for a moment but then brushed the thought aside. He told himself, someone else will help. All day, the image of that old man haunted him. During lunch, his colleague mentioned the church's food drive, saying, "You know, sometimes faith isn't about praying, it's about showing up for someone." Those words hit Mark harder than he expected. That evening, guilt pushed him back toward Maple Street. The sun had dipped below the horizon, and the church steps were empty. Only the cardboard sign remained, fluttering in the wind. A priest stood nearby, locking the church doors. "Excuse me, Father," Mark called. "The old man who was sitting here this morning, where did he go?" The priest sighed. "Ah, that was Jacob. He used to help in our soup kitchen until he fell ill. He said he wanted to spend his last winter reminding people that kindness is the face of Christ." Mark felt a sharp tug in his chest. His last winter. The priest nodded gently. "He passed away a few hours ago." Mark stood frozen. A wave of sorrow and guilt swept over him, not just for Jacob, but for every time he'd chosen comfort over compassion. A week later, during Sunday Mass, the church was filled with people. The priest shared Jacob's story, and Mark listened intently, tears in his eyes. When the offering plate came around, Mark didn't just drop money, he dropped a note that read, "In memory of Jacob, I'll carry his kindness forward." That night, Mark returned to the same church steps, but this time, not in a suit and tie. He came with thermoses of hot soup and blankets, serving anyone who needed warmth. As he handed a blanket to a homeless woman, she smiled weakly and whispered, "God bless you." Mark smiled back. "He already has," he said, looking at the small wooden cross he now wore, Jacob's cross, which the priest had given him earlier that day. For the first time in years, Mark understood what faith truly meant. It wasn't measured by how often he prayed, but by how deeply he cared. And under the glow of the church's Christmas lights, on that quiet Boston street, the spirit of Christian kindness lived on, not in sermons, but in small acts of love that warmed even the coldest nights.